Hey everybody, how's it going? Thank you so much for joining my Tuesday afternoon training. So today I want to talk to you a little bit about being committed versus interested in. So if you think about your weight loss and all of the journey that we've been on, I know for me, unfortunately, I'm a 20 plus year dieter. Off and on through those years, I would have told you that I wish that I felt as what's the word they say, like back when I was getting married, I thought that I was fat. I wish I was that fat now or that skinny now. But over the years, I've tried different things. And I thought it was really interesting as we think about this subject. Are you committed or are you just interested in it? So when you're interested in it, you're interested in it while it's convenient. It might be something that's passive. Doesn't mean we don't put a lot of work into it. It doesn't mean that we don't stress about it, but we're not necessarily taking the steps that we need to take to help us be successful. And definitely when it comes to prioritizing, whether it's, where am I going to eat? How am I going to take care of myself? Where do I make time for this? When we're interested in, it falls off when it's not convenient for us to do. Whereas if we're committed to doing something about it. We're actively working on it. We're looking at any obstacles or hurdles that might be in front of us. We don't, it's not, I don't want you to think of it as this idea of, it's the only thing I'm focused on, or, not if I don't do it at all, like that all or nothing mindset that I've been talking about. But it also means you might be open to a different outcome. So it's being committed to that path. It's setting yourself to be successful, but it also isn't at all the costs. And saying like, if I don't do this, then I fail, because that's a huge, as we kind of think about failure, like for example, if we didn't brush our teeth tonight, do you think we would quit brushing our teeth and say we failed? No, but that's what we do with diets. We give up when we've maybe had a challenge, or we've struggled, or we've fallen off the wagon. And so I don't want you to think about that. I want to continue to work on changing that mindset. So let's talk a little bit why you might be struggling with commitment. It's kind of a funny thing to say, and I'm not talking about your marriage or your relationship, but I am talking about you and the commitment that you have to yourself and that you have to your health and on this weight loss path. So one of the reasons that you might not be committed is that you think it's too hard. You might be thinking in your head, you know what? It's so hard. Why would I do this if it's so hard? It's, there's so much work, there's so much food prep. I have to give up so much stuff. So in our head, we're already setting ourselves up to be unsuccessful because we're telling ourselves it's too hard. So we have to start to change some of those things. And once I get through why we're struggling with commitment, I'm going to share with you now, how can we change that and how can I help? We're not setting ourselves up for success. I can't tell you how many times that I signed up for the new diet. I got the eating plan. I was all committed. And then I didn't order my food, or I ordered the food, but I didn't make it. And so I wasn't setting myself up to be successful. Now, this was in the old diet brain where I was focused on, just on the food and going to buckle down. And I was just going to use my willpower to work it through. And that was what I was expecting, that was going to help me be successful. But that's not all that we need to be successful. And we really focus on, how can I be prepared every day? You have to do the meal plan. You have to do this. But what if we threw some of those things out? So we'll get to those. The other thing is maybe you're not mentally committed. Have you done the mental work? We've been talking a lot about, the mental things that are going on. Do you have the tools and resources to help you set up for having the right mindset to lose weight? And thinking about the long term in this path, not just I'm going to hit the goal and I have to push through to hit that goal. So mental commitment might be holding you back. I'm going to say it. You don't believe in yourself. This is a hard one. Definitely something that I've had to struggle with, is maybe don't think that I can be successful. Like I want it. I have the desire to do it. I'm not happy in my current state, but do I really believe in myself? And that's, as we think about mindset and body image and body confidence, that's a big piece that we have to push through is how do we believe in ourselves? How do we set ourselves up mentally to say, I know I can be successful? Maybe it's the program, maybe it's the coach. You have to look at, why do you not believe in yourself? But that can be a core issue. You don't go all in. And so I know I talked to you a little bit about that all or nothing mindset and being, mindful of, not saying it has to be all or nothing. So when I say you're not going all in as a potential issue around your commitment, what I mean by that is is that you're going all in regards to the commitment that you have to yourself, that you know you're worth it, and that you're setting yourself up. It might be having a daily plan. Maybe every morning you're going to wake up 15 minutes early and you're going to do your journal, or you're going to have your lemon water, or you're going to do your meditation. But that's what I mean is you're not going all in. You're not like all in mentally to be committed to here's what I need to do to be successful. The no time, right? Like this is really common. I just don't have the time. I've been there, you guys. Actually, I feel like my June suffered June and part of July, because I let the no time, I'm busy, and that got in my head. I didn't journal consistently. I didn't set myself up to be successful. I let my brain take the easy way out on this. And so that's a great example of I let the no time kind of get in the way. We had a lot of family commitments. We were traveling for my daughter's sports. My work was busy. I was traveling for work. And I let that get in the way when, you know what? Every season is going to be busy. Like this fall, the kids are going to be back to school and have activities, and it's going to be busy. And so if I always use the no time in my head personally, I'm not going to be successful. I have to actually find a way to change that narrative in my head, because I'm always going to be busy. And so how can I have quick things and easy things, whether it's for food or for my mindset, that set me up to be successful, so I don't allow that excuse and my brain to jump to the easy answer there. How about this? You feel like you know what to do, but you're just not doing it. So this is also a really common one. I actually hear this from my husband. He's like, I know what I need to do. I just need to do it. Yes, but let me challenge that thought a little bit. So you might think you know what you need to do. I'm guessing it's more in the food, right? No sugar, no carbs, more veggies, more fruit. Okay, so then why don't you just do it? Well, you guys, it comes down to that mindset piece. It's not that you don't know, but maybe you don't know as much as you think you do, because it's not just about the food. It's about the mindset. It's about the support that you need. It's about how do you set yourself up to be successful. And so if it just comes down to the food, and if we could be robots and just eat that food, we'd all be skinny, right? I mean, we would. That's just not the way that we were built. And we have to consider the other challenges that come up in our life around stressors, emotional eating, and really understanding the core issues of why we're, overeating or eating when we're not hungry. Those are usually your problems. It's actually not as much about exactly what you're eating. Yes, it's how much you're eating, but then we need to look at why you're eating those things when you're not hungry, or when you should stop when you're feeling full. Maybe you're feeling alone. Maybe you don't have someone in your life who is supporting you on this journey, and that's impacting your commitment. So how can you surround yourself with people that are, there to support you? And maybe it's asking a friend to be there for you. Maybe it's having a really honest conversation with your partner or your spouse about, it's really hard when we keep Cheetos in the house, or whatever that is that you feel like, maybe you're alone in this path, and how can we help find people that help surround you? Joining and being a part of like my group or other people's places for community. It could be a walking group. Maybe there's some moms or some friends that you've connected with in the past, so you can reinvigorate those relationships so you don't feel alone. How about our past successes and failures? These are in the back of our head. We're running those old tapes, right? So maybe Weight Watchers worked for you, and so you've gone back to it, and now it hasn't worked, and it's not working, but in your head it worked for you. So you keep going back to it thinking it worked for me at one point. And maybe in that season of life it did. Maybe there were other things that weren't getting in your way, but you also have to ask yourself, if it's not working, then you need to try something different. And what does that look like? I don't think it's another diet. To me, it's around understanding your habits. It's getting into this whole mindset thing and learning some new tools around that. And the last one is really, you're not ready for change. Like, as much as you want to lose the weight, you might not be ready to give up some of the things that go with it. And I don't mean give up in the sense of like you're forever having to give up, but maybe you are, you really like having, 3 or 4 glasses of wine, but then, when you have 3 or 4 glasses of wine, that might open the door to overeating and splurging, and really alcohol. I know we think of it, it's the gateway drug to food, but it really isn't. But what happens is it changes our mindset. We become a little bit less like maybe committed to what we want in regards to those goals. We get more relaxed, and we're like, you know what, I can just have this. And we allow our mind to start to tell us, hey, we can eat that, or we start to think we're hungry. So it's not that alcohol is bad. You have to decide how alcohol impacts your weight loss. But the question around this is, are you ready to change? Are you, ready to make some adjustments in regards to some of your habits and explore those a little bit further? It might mean being more in touch with your feelings and allowing to feel the emotions versus eat the emotions. And that's uncomfortable. That's not necessarily something that, we all like actively want. A lot of times we're using the food to numb the feelings. And so it is an active choice to say, I want to make those changes. So those are the reasons why you might be struggling with commitment. Let's talk about, what can you do then? How can you be, not just interested, but committed to this? So the first thing is have a plan. What does that plan look like? And I don't mean an eating plan, you guys. I mean, what are you going to do every day when you wake up to set yourself to be successful? Maybe you're a person who wants to get up and just put on your walking shoes. And you know that every time if you just get a 10-minute walk in, you're going to have a better day with your mindset. Maybe I've been talking about lemon water. Maybe it's adding something in like that. Could you make a couple minutes to do a meditation? There's a lot of guided meditations that are really great for getting your mindset in place and just helping. Like for me, I feel like it just really helps me focus. That's what I'm focusing on actually right now, is adding that meditation in, even on the busy mornings when I might be going to my workout class. Start small. Don't come up with this huge big plan that is going to like be overwhelming and you're changing so many things in your life. Maybe this week it's waking up and doing that meditation or that walk, and then maybe next week you're going to make sure that you're consistent with your water. And it's those small changes. It's that, how can you level up that 1% every day, to continue to make those changes? And it's that consistency over time that is going to show you the success, and you're going to show you the progress that you want. And you're going to feel great when you do it. Staying focused and staying motivated. This is a personal thing for each of us to say, like, how am I going to do that? How am I going to stay focused and motivated? I know for me, journaling is a big piece of that. Now, I know to say the word journaling, and some people are like, I'm just not a journaler. But in my program, my clients actually get a journal and ask them specific questions. It only takes a couple minutes in the morning and a couple minutes at night. But you know what? When I journaled, I was doing really good. I was journaling consistently, like January through May. And that's where I saw a lot of progress with my weight loss. I was really on top of it. And then the last couple months, because I was too busy, remember I said that, I fell off the wagon with my journaling, and my results have been less consistent. So I know for me, that staying focused is really big on being, doing that journal morning and night. And again, just having consistent questions that you ask can be a really big game changer. We already talked about asking for support. So if this is something that's holding you back, how can you ask for someone in your life to give you support? Or consider hiring a coach. I mean, there's so many ways that we spend money on ourselves. Well, what if you invested in a coach? And I definitely would be happy to chat with you about what my coaching program looks like. But having a coach and someone that's going to help guide you and help you work through things, they've got your back. They're there for you, and they're going to help you work through those challenges. It's a game changer. But if that's not something you're interested in right now, at a minimum, find a friend or a partner in your life that can be there to support you. The meditation, I already talked to you about, having like an active, it might be even just, you could be working on your chakras. You could be just taking some quiet time to think, whatever that is, just some time to like get that mind balanced and, being able to just kind of like focus on what's important to you in front of you. It could be prayer. I mean, it's going to be different for each of us and what's important to us and how we work through some of that. It's also going to be starting to challenge some of our assumptions in the narrative. So I talked about it's too hard. That's in our head. We are telling ourselves it's too hard. So how do we change that and say, like, I'm learning a new skill? Just like you might be learning to play pickleball, you don't expect yourself to win every game, right? Well, in the weight loss journey, this is a skill that we learn too. And it's something that we have to build over time. It will likely be something we'll build through our lifetime. Maybe, the hope is obviously that we get to our dream come true weight. But it doesn't mean that we give up on doing the things that got us there. We might change and tweak some things, but we're still going to be learning because our mind is going to continue to want to take the easy way out. It's going to want to avoid pain. And that is just the way that we're built. And we also have to think of all the years of training that we've had with a diet brain, with the restrict. Oh my gosh, I had a piece of cake last night. I ate too much of it. I'm going to restrict today, or I'm going to go do a 5-minute run, right? That is not the way that we should be dieting. And that's not good for our bodies, not good for our minds. So we have to break up with some of that diet culture. But we've been living that way for 20 plus years. It's going to take some time for us to change that thought process. So that's all that I had for today. I want to have you ask yourself, are you committed or are you interested? And how do you change that narrative? If you want to be committed, hopefully you'll find some ideas here that you can take away and start applying those to what you're doing today. If you want to have a coaching session, a one-on-one, I'm offering free one-on-one coaching sessions. I can just sit down and listen to you and give you some ideas. I'm happy to talk to you about my coaching program, the All or Nothing Mindset, that has been transformational in my life. And has changed so many other people's lives that have followed a program similar. And I'm here to always support you. So would love to share with you a little bit more. Please don't hesitate to reach out and share if there was something that resonated with you. Drop it in the comments, send me a direct message. We'd just love to know how these trainings are impacting you and helping you in your life. So have a great day. Thanks for joining me. Bye-bye.